welcome to Bitch Sesh. I'm your host, Danielle Schneider. Guys, sorry to report, Casey Wilson is not here again. She will be back next week. Don't yell at me. I have amazing co-hosts and guests, so everybody don't freak out.
May she rest.
May she rest. That's right, you heard it right. Who's here? But the only man who wishes Casey Wilson dead. Matt McConkey.
Hello.
It's been such a while since you've been here.
What a joy to be back, and so nice to be back at the satellite Nook.
Yeah, satellite Nook. Thank you for that.
I got a couple minutes with your daughter watching or discussing Hercules.
Yes,
in
my
her
daughter's
playroom.
very into Hercules right now, the series. She kept saying to you, I don't remember you.
Yeah,
she let you know clearly many times that you were not memorable.
She makes me sweat every time.
Every time.
As we all know, the moment that I met her, she simply said no to me.
Matt was like, Sydney, I'm so excited to meet you. I think she was like almost 2 at the time, and she just simply said to Matt, no.
Just no.
Just
tip to tail.
No.
Nope. Which I appreciate in a kid.
Yeah, and she's never quite given it up for you. Though she did ask you to do one of her nighttime chores. She was like, can Matt do one of my nighttime chores with me?
Yeah. And she also was really interested. It was the first time she tracked that I have the same first name as her dad.
Yes. And so she kept making this joke of like, which Matt is going to do this thing? Which
it was a great bit.
Solid joke. Guys, my daughter is a hilarious comedian.
She's a genius.
She is. She sure is. How are you? How have you been since we last caught up with you? Oh, God,
so much. I should thank the listener. So many Bitch Sesh, so many aliens reached out to me to congratulate me, just in association with Jen's Netflix movie.
Yes,
of course, I'm talking about.
Huge.
She's going to be playing the female president in a Netflix movie. Married to Tig Notaro.
I mean, what a dream.
Written by Tig and Stephanie Allen, I
know.
believe.
Yes, Stephanie Allen, who's a friend and adore her.
So we're doing great. Mm-hmm. It's a great time for us.
Yeah.
And
even though there has been a breakup and
I don't know what you're talking. That.
Oh, yes.
I mean, sure,
yes.
yeah. And people ask,
and he seems to have moved on. I follow him on Instagram. Strangely, I don't follow her.
Well, she doesn't have one.
Maybe that's why.
She doesn't have time for social
Not.
media.
But he seems to have really picked. He's put a real Tom.
Yeah.
Luann's Tom Grasides.
I unfollowed him, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Tracking. I hear, is he dating Emma Stone? Is he dating Stan? It's like I don't know.
He seems to be all out and about and having a great time and really fun emojis and real fun like dancing emoji. Like he's having a blast. Whatever he's doing, just
wearing
fine.
Age-appropriate sleeveless tees all
Guess
over
what?
town.
He still looks good.
Fine. Well, look, all I'm saying is we're doing great. We're making groundbreaking Netflix movies with one of the greatest comedians of our time.
Yes.
We're supporting the causes we care about. Mm-hmm. Dry eyes, dry
I
skin.
think that dry eye company got in touch with us after we met.
What?
Yes, I was so excited. I think we got a tweet from them or something.
From
and now I'm just remembering. I don't know if you guys did. I think you guys did. It was given to us. I'm not sure, but I'm so bad with social media. So if you did, just tweet at me again. But I think that they were like, thank you for the shout out. So it's almost like us and Jennifer Aniston are sponsored.
We're getting closer
to Jay.
Oh my God.
But yeah, she's doing causes close to her heart.
Yeah.
So she's doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really excited because I made a call out to our listeners last week. I said, you guys, I'm really interested in James from Vanderpump Rules, his roommate, Paul. Mm-hmm. On last week's reunion, they revealed a shocking roommate. Seemed to be an older gentleman.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and they never, in the years that we have followed James's life, they've never revealed this roommate before. And I was shocked by him. And I said, who is this Paul? And can anyone send me details? Well, our dear friend, Greg Bennett, just simply sent me a text with this Paul's Facebook page. And it was
Greg has got his finger on the pulse.
He does. So thank you, Greg Bennett. He gave me kind of like an into his life. And it was just basically a Facebook page from, I don't think the man has checked since like 2013, but it was like him looking in the mirror, posing as like, it seemed to be like a fake police officer situation. And then just pictures of him with like him and Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Oh God.
And also like a picture of like a muscle car. So I feel like I kind of know Paul.
How old is Paul-ish?
He could be 45. He could be 70.
Okay.
It's unclear.
Not under 45.
No
Not
way.
that the kids of Vanderpump are far off their 40s.
Probably Jax's age, honestly. They're both older men. But it was just shocking that he's James's roommate. And then I did another deep dive because then I got farther in because I just got obsessed. And I don't have time for many things in this world.
Nope.
My family, friends, but I had time to deep dive on this Paul. And turns out for a while, it says under his profession, he works like in Hollywood as an actor. Like it was, in like Facebook, it says like a profession or like, and it said like Hollywood.
Yeah. That's always a red flag right there.
And then it said like, he also might be like a landlord or something. Like, then I deep dived and it also said for a time he worked as an investigator for a DUI, a defense attorney.
An investigator for a DUI, a defense attorney. Okay.
Which I felt like tracks. Like if you get drunk and you need an attorney to represent you for getting your license pulled, Paul will investigate and help you.
And that may be the origin story of how he met James.
Yes.
Maybe he used his services.
Yes. And then I also found his seems to be father or grandfather. So he was R.I.P. Since been passed, but a gorgeous man. And they showed his World War II photo, guys.
Oh, boy.
And I got a chill. He served in the South Pacific, in the Pacific Theater, as I call it. And whoa. Guys, give yourself a look at this fine specimen. A hot man. Ooh, in uniform too. Real hero, guys. Real hero. So anyway, it led me to this gorgeous grandfather, R.I.P. So that was exciting for me.
How was your Mem Day, by the way? Just as a...
My what day?
Your Memorial Day.
Oh,
Sorry
my
for
Mem
my
Day.
breathe.
What did I do? Oh, I went to my girlfriend Morgan's house and it was like after the birthday party for her son, like her older son, but she also has she invited Sydney and I later to go to like her bounce house and the pool or whatever.
Cute.
And then Sydney got there and there was no cake left. And Sydney was so upset when I was like, but I tried to tell her, Sydney, this wasn't a birthday party we were invited to. We sort of came to the after.
Yeah.
And she said to Morgan, then next time don't invite me.
Wow.
And Morgan, poor thing, was like, thank you. Some fearless feedback I'm hearing here.
The most fearless.
My daughter just,
Like Bethany this week, she was like, I just wanted a bite of that.
Yeah, she just wanted some cake. And she didn't get it.
Let her eat cake.
Thank you.
Wow.
So that's what was going on. Before we introduce our guest, who I'm very excited. She's never been on the podcast before, but guys, we're in for a treat. I would also like to say that we have our last LA Largo show before the fall. So this is our last one. It's going to be June 21st at Largo, I said, and with special guest Jamie Lynn Sigler from The Sopranos.
I love her.
Me too. I'm very excited to meet her. She's a huge Housewives fan. Never met her before, though I did audition as a young person to be Meadow Soprano's roommate in college, and guess what? I didn't get it.
Maybe in the reboot.
Yes! Anyway, exciting. So get your tickets because it's our last show, at least until the fall, in Los Angeles. So if you're around, it's going to be a fun show.
Sure.
Please. Now, guys, we have a guest. And this person has been a Housewives fan as long as I have, I assume. She's a student of the Housewives. She has lots of opinions. She's even met a few.
She's been flying very close to the sun.
Oh, she has. Very close to the sun. Guys, this person just wrote the movie Ibiza that is out on Netflix right now. Run, don't walk to your TV screen. Lauryn Kahn.
Yay.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very excited to be here. It feels long overdue.
It is long overdue.
It's just so many thoughts, so many feelings.
We would run into each other at parties and talk about this.
There have been times where like I was supposed to, and then things happened. There was like a couple times, and maybe but I'm thrilled beyond belief.
We're so happy to have you.
During our pre-recording hang, I was like, "This is great. Can we get to the show? Because I have so many questions."
I was like, I want to talk, but maybe just save it and write it down. And
but let's. Yes.
Briefly.
Yes.
Because you were talking a little bit about Vanderpump, and I just had two thoughts that
I
desperately needed to share.
Yes.
The first is, did you guys see the photo of Lala Kent at Cannes?
With the boyfriend?
And 50 Cent and John Travolta.
What?
On a red carpet. It's so weird.
A ragtag crew.
50
And
John Travolta.
John Travolta.
Obviously, he's producing a movie with 50 Cent and John
Yes.
Travolta
Yeah.
that's at Cannes. But it was just, and she's wearing a long gown and she's like trying to look the part, but it was just Google it. It's confusing.
I
Also,
felt-
the group itself is confusing.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
To be a fly on the wall, I guess, of a conversation between
I don't know that we would
50 and John.
understand between all three
I don't
of
know.
them.
And who's
why
John
they're
Travolta's
meeting.
wife? She's also
Kelly
there.
Preston.
Preston.
Again, ragtag crew.
It was a crew. So that was one. And then it's like before the premiere, I thought my big story would be that I also went to Ariana's birthday party.
What?
That was on the show.
What?
Yes.
How were you
You're
there?
basically a cast member of Vanderpump Rules.
It was, and I've been dying to share this.
Please.
So sad.
No.
So bright. Like in a
I
bar.
thought she had the
Always
better
are.
party. It was like Stassi's party and Ariane's. And I thought the way they made it seem was that,
I hate saying this too.
no,
but
please.
like so excited to be there. It was, what is it? It was royalty, kings and
Yes.
queens.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever, I'm too cool. I'm not going to do anything.
How
and
did
then,
you
of
get
course,
your invite?
so someone,
Danielle
Jess
asks
Rona, Jess Rona,
Yes.
dog groomer to the stars, literally.
She groomed my dog, R.I.P.
Yes.
Does she do the slow-mo?
Yeah, the slow-mo
Oh,
vids.
what an
Yes.
artist.
I mean, it's beyond. And my
Yeah.
dog, yes, there have been slow-mo vids, and I feel
oh
very
my
special.
God.
But so because Ariana like was kind of in the comedy scene sketch, unclear, like there was college humor. There was a college humor time.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know this. Okay.
Learning new facts. And then, so there was friendships through some comedy people.
Interesting.
Jess Rona was like, what are you doing? Do you want to go to Ariana's birthday party? And I was like, yeah, I'll
Very
drop
good.
everything.
Including my child.
We Ubered. It was fun. We drank. It was great.
Signed releases upon entry.
Signed releases upon entering. I worked in reality TV.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I'd sign,
I'll look right at the
I'd
camera.
sign
if I
my
want to.
house off. I'd sign my family.
Like,
I'm
I
fine.
don't care.
Take it all.
But I think the most awkward part was how bright it was and how much crew was around.
Wow.
Like, obviously it was all like real to a point because you're watching and like James is with this girl and a lot of them are trying to it's a lot of like posing for pictures at the
Yeah.
party. But it was just like the brightness was what made me the most sad because it wasn't like a party vibe. There was just so much light and everyone's just kind of like awkwardly walking around. And then to be privy to the like music video that the friend did. Do you remember this? It was
Vaguely.
I love my kings and queens.
Yeah.
And it was just Alison Becker was there.
She was?
It was
What a crew.
it was a crew.
Who?
It was a crew. What'd you say?
I said it was a who's who.
It really was. We all went together. Allison did not care. She had never seen the show. She was like, I will go right up in their face and take video. I could care less. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow. To
But
have
it was
that
a time. They were
involved.
so dressed up. And then I did feel awkward because I was like one of the only people. And then Ariana was very sweet or gave me a crown or Tom gave, like they were
Okay,
nice.
okay.
Everyone was pleasant and nice.
Sure.
But it was a
I'm sorry,
weird one.
Is there like no music? Because for
No
sound,
music.
they can't have. Yeah.
Oh, that must be so awkward.
No music, kind of empty, fully just encumbered in heavy costumes at a small
Yeah.
West Hollywood bar. So, and you're also like, it felt weird. It
And they're
felt
skimping
weird.
on food, I'm sure, because they want people
There's
to get
no
drunker.
food.
There's no
I mean,
food?
by the way, I worked in reality TV for many years, whole nother show. That's all part of it. I mean, they're part of it now, but like on The Bachelor and all this, like they really don't feed them a lot.
So that they
the
get
drunker,
drunk.
the less you eat, the drunker you get.
Yes,
Yeah.
there have been like,
Wow.
yeah. But anyway, that's
incredible.
before this premiere, I thought that was my big story of like flying too close to the sun. Little did I know. Anyway, but love the pumps and wanted to share that.
Well, I now speaking of the premiere, now Lauren has a hilarious movie out. If you have not watched it, as I said, go watch it. It's called Ibiza.
It's fun. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, Netflix.
Literally watch it naked.
But yet you do
Starring-
get to go somewhere just by watching
Escape.
it.
It's literally like the world is kind of hot garbage a little bit now, and like just escape into some comedy.
And starring three of the funniest human
So funny.
beings on the planet, Phoebe and
Phoebe Robinson, Vanessa
and
Bayer,
Gillian
Jacobs.
Gillian, did I say it wrong?
It's fine. I think everyone does.
Who is the
Yeah.
DJ? Who is that?
Richard Madden from Game of
yeah.
Thrones.
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
Phoebe Robinson makes me laugh in a way that
She's got
she
like
kills
the skills,
me.
the improv skills.
And Vanessa Bayer, I don't know Gillian. Sorry, I keep saying that. Guys, I know I'm terrible at names. Everyone got yelled at me last week because I called Candace Cameron a lot of times, and I'm still hearing it. But anyway, but Vanessa Bayer has been on the podcast. I am such a fan of hers.
About, like, honestly, truly, when we were filming in Europe, we were on a group text and we all bonded about Housewives immediately. Phoebe watches Atlanta and I think she watches a little New York, but like Gillian, me, Vanessa, and then we brought the director right in. He was like, okay, I guess I'll be catching up on all the Beverly Hills on the plane. So I'm like all caught up. But like that was like our first bonding experience.
But they're so hilarious in the movie and just they're so well written. You've really written something so funny.
They really elevated the material. They're so fun. They're so funny.
Stop it! You elevated the material.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, and the premise obviously is that it's three
just
best
a crazy
friends from
little
New York
like fantasy.
Take a jaunt to Barcelona that turns into a jaunt to Ibiza.
Ibiza.
And it's a real make cute in Ibiza.
That's a real make cute.
By the way, there's a huge billboard of the.
By the way,
this
is the first billboard I've seen in real life as I was coming to your house on Ventura.
Right my house.
And it really felt exciting because people have sent me a lot of pictures, but I was like, oh my God, there it is. And then like, obviously I didn't like pull over and take a picture, but I will at some point and
you better.
Because that's the one that like, they're like, we want to have one that's like has a 3D thing. And so it's like the one of Richard Madden, but then the three girls are like sitting on atop the billboard, which is, it's silly, but it's fun.
So you had your premiere and tell us what happened at the premiere.
I mean, well, we had a call out in the movie to Dorinda.
Yes.
The first scene.
It was improvised. Sweet Gillian Jacobs were throwing different lines out and we're talking about housewives, different things. And she says this thing about Dorinda and like, it's like the line is, she's a PR exec and she's like, this is for Instagram alone, but does Dorinda mean anything to you?
That's so great.
And it's such a like insider, like a very small percentage is going to get that joke, but that's okay with us.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke. It's actually just pure love. And so as it's getting closer, we're like letting Netflix know, like, we want to invite all the housewives to this premiere. Like,
royalty
we want them there. We want them there. We all wanted them there. So then as it started to come through, like, Ramona's coming. We're like, fuck you. And it was Luana's coming, Dorinda's coming.
Oh my God.
John is coming.
Wow.
So
John, Madame Paulette himself?
It was just dreams. Like, they were sitting near us. We get in the theater. It's all crazy. Next thing I know, I'm like in a picture with Dorinda. She's excited to be there. There are other people. It was great. And the most amazing, beautiful moment was being close enough to her she had no idea there was a call out to her in the movie. Seeing her react to her name.
I'm going to cry.
It was so beautiful. Luann like leans over. She's like, oh my God, like squeezing Dorinda's shoulder. They're all hysterical, like up, hands in the air, just so excited about it.
Can I say something that's beautiful?
It really is.
And I mean this because
one of my happiest moments.
Dorinda has had a tough couple of years,
some ups and downs.
And to hear yourself in like a legit funny movie be sort of like celebrated.
Yeah.
That's a huge moment. Imagine sitting in a theater and
they were all jealous. Like you could tell they were all excited, but you know Ramona was
she loved, and you know what?
Frenemy.
No one appreciated that more than Dorinda. And you did a gift.
It's who we would want to do it for at the end of the day. She's the best. So movie ends and it was sort of like what I would call like the Three Bears where like Ramona was out after the movie.
Of course.
Dorinda came to the after party and like was very chill and cool and like, let's take some pictures. Definitely was like talking about at one point was like, they all like want to talk about their catchphrases, which is very unusual to me.
I like that.
Yeah. At one point we were taking a picture at the after party. She's so sweet. She's so excited. She loved the movie so much. Like genuinely, it made me so happy. And she was like, I made it nice, right? I made it nice or something along those lines, which I'm like, yes.
You're really channeling her, by the way.
Absolutely, you did. Thank you.
You are.
She looked really cute at the premiere because, I have thoughts later on her. I have
outfits,
thoughts, but like this one,
this
there was like
year.
a fun little bomber jacket. It was satiny. Like Ramona, please Google it. It looked like she was like, you've been on red carpets. I was very confused. She had her like big purse and she just looked like she was like coming from CVS or something. Like it legitimately just was just like there with like a tank top and like maybe like, I want to say like a bootleg jean, just like shoulder bag, like I'm on the carpet. Like
she'd just been out walking her dog in traffic. And
literally.
All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
Wait,
Please Google it.
I just picked up
Please Google it.
I just picked up some pads.
You know, and maybe
Avery.
maybe because it wasn't called a premiere, it was called a special screening, and that's how we referred to it.
I've made that mistake.
Okay.
In the past,
'Cause
where I'm
I
like,
hope.
it's a screening, and then I've showed up in a.
Yeah, but Luann and Dorinda knew what was up. John knew what was up. They're like, there will be photos taken. And so Ramona leaves right away. Dorinda's like, I'm going to stay for an hour. Luann, she closed the place down.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
She didn't want to leave. I definitely like wanted to talk to her at some point, and then just walked over, and she was just literally close to my husband, sitting on the couch, would not leave his side the entire night, openly flirting with him in front of me. I am fine with it.
Yeah.
I am okay with it. There was a sweetness to her that she was so excited to be there. She was so excited to talk about the show. She definitely was like, and she was like, who's your favorite? What are your favorite seasons? Like, heaviness of wanting to talk about the show.
That's tough. Yeah, it's like, don't meet your heroes. We've all
It was a little bit.
said
I
it.
literally said that line because
Tell me
then
your
I
heroes.
pushed Vanessa. You know, Vanessa was really excited to meet her, and then I think quickly realized like maybe the conversation isn't as exciting after a few minutes. Where Dorinda was like fun.
Right.
And I hate saying that because she's so sweet, and I feel bad.
Sure.
But it was definitely like there was a moment where Vanessa and I caught eyes, and Vanessa was like, I'm done. Like, I'm good. I met her. It's great. Bye. But she hung around Andrew, like my husband the whole night, wants us to come to her cabaret. There were numbers exchanged.
Well, I guess you got an invite as opposed to me.
I think that my husband did. Like, I think it was like, oh, I guess your wife has to come with you. It was like, but she was very sweet to me. She was, and then at one point, I can't remember, but she was like, I'm cool, right? You can't be all uncool. And also like referenced her line. But wanted to know like our favorite seasons. And like my husband wanted to just get right into it. He's like, honestly, New York is my favorite. Like I would probably go Beverly Hills next, but maybe Vanderpump above that. I know it's a different thing. And then I don't know if this is a secret, whatever, told my husband that there will be a remix of her song done by James Kennedy.
She's been
I think
hinting
he
at
was
doing
like,
something.
do
with
you
him.
say, there's a mashup of sorts.
Yeah.
What do you
it's
what do you
exci-
mash it with?
I don't know. Like, I think it's a remix.
Yeah.
So
Great, I'm in.
It's so mixed. I don't know how you could mix it. Where
where do you
like,
remix
where do you
it?
go?
There's just more.
It's already like there's so much sound.
There's too much
Right.
sound. Maybe the remix is removing.
We're gonna do a
sound.
stripped
It's
down
just stripped down,
version.
a cappella.
Because it is
Cabaret.
already basically a wall of sound
Yeah.
coming at you when you hear this song. I
Maybe
love
she's like,
it.
we're gonna like strip it down and like make it
But
really.
if you strip it down,
it's just her
ooh,
voice.
it's just
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
hear
like,
what she actually
it's
sounds
naked.
like.
Like bear.
it's like someone screaming at us,
Oof.
like a bear screaming at us. Like
She
that.
did sound beautiful when she sang for that her cabaret
close to her
director when
face-
they were
this close to his
when they
face.
were weirdly attracted
When
to
I
each
literally
other.
had to look away, I was so uncomfortable.
Yes,
That was tough.
They ended the scene by simply
I
kissing.
had cringies. Like I
That
don't even
was-
know what to talk. Like it was bad.
It's rough.
Their energies were so. It was like I could feel him being like, I'm a gay man, but yet I want to kiss her and I'm going to.
God,
and it was
I
like,
could see
This
myself-
makes sense.
If Luann sat down on my lap, I could see myself getting caught up in a moment.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
touching lips
She's
with her
charming.
lips.
Yeah.
She's charming. She's sweet. I don't know. We were all stuffed in an elevator again. Like she just wants to have a good time.
No, I get that about her. I mean, we all
She didn't
want
want to leave.
Sure.
She
She
didn't.
doesn't, guys.
want to leave.
I also feel like for like the Dorindas and Luanns, especially seeing that movie, they felt like they were seeing themselves. They're like, I'm just a girl in her late 20s or early 30s.
She was like,
going
it's like Mexico. She kept saying like it reminded her of Mexico, and they should do a. She was like, it was fun, and it reminded me of just us, and like she was just
Yeah. Oh, they definitely saw themselves.
Yes.
In those
They-
characters.
That I was like, great.
Sure.
They were lovely. I didn't meet Ramona. Kind of like it was weird. Like her energy was maybe weird, and like the
Ramona's energy is weird.
What?
just
What?
like the craziness I love, but like I was just like, come to the party, you dork. Like, what are you doing? Like,
I think Ramona is a person that you don't want to get too close to that
No.
flame, or
Right.
you will incinerate.
And
I
I wonder
agree.
if she also was like, oh, she said Dorinda's name, doesn't like me. I didn't say
I
Ramona.
kind
I don't
of feel like that. Like I was only paying attention to Dorinda during that moment, and I saw Luann, and John was like so excited.
Oh, you
and
bet.
like
He's climbing those coattails.
I was like, oh, he actually loved the movie. He was like, I saw him laugh. It was fun. It was a beautiful thing.
Oh,
I'm
if
not
I
gonna lie.
had, if I could put screen Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2 and just see, I don't know.
I
thoughts.
guarantee we could get at least
I get a screening, guys.
Yes.
Can we get this to happen? My film, Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2. to be scrambled.
I'm not kidding. I mean, I'll come, and I guarantee at least like Teddy will come.
Yeah, I think I can get Teddy there.
That is
Well, we
perfect.
could get some
Teddy.
Vanderpumps there for sure.
I mean, I
Oh,
could
yeah.
get like Max.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
get Max. Poor
He's-
Max.
If he's, he
But
doesn't have
if
a
he
shit.
works it, does he have to work it? Like,
To serve, but
Yeah.
he will come.
but I don't know. I'm just calling for it. If we can make it happen, sure.
By the
I'll have
way-
a step and repeat.
By the way,
red carpet.
once you throw it out into the universe, Oprah says once you like write it down or throw it out into the universe, you have like 50% more of a chance of something happening. It's
Okay.
actually writing it down,
Yeah.
but just like get it out
my
there.
dream.
Literally right.
This is my dream
They say
project.
they really
Hills,
do.
Chihuahua,
You guys-
2.
2018-19 is going to be the year I get the Housewives to see Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2. Now, was it straight to video? Yes. So, I don't know. I guess they'd have to like come to my house. Like, I don't know how
It's fine.
Okay.
Streaming.
We
That's
can find
we're
a
in a
place.
new
I don't know that
world.
we can stream.
Find a place.
I don't know that it's on a streaming service.
Yet.
Yet. Keyword.
But,
Wow.
yeah. So, anyway, just putting it out there.
You have to.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a small break and then come back and talk New York.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Please.
And we're back. Guys, New York this week. What an episode. What an episode.
We start off right where we left off with that goddamn Carol and Bethany conflict.
Ooh, that was rough to watch
Yeah.
because we really got at the heart of something and we were all talking about it in depth
Yeah.
as we watched together like a family.
It's painful.
It makes me feel weird in my
I
tum-tum.
go back and forth. Like you're trying to empathize with all sides.
Yeah.
But my heart right now, I don't know. I go both ways. Like
Yeah.
I can make an argument for both sides.
I'm Team Bethany.
You're
I am
team-
too. It's so
That's
odd.
in this episode I am, but I think there's like layers.
Right.
I think that they are mad at each other and it goes deep. But I think that Bethany, did find a kindred spirits. I do think Bethany has a problem keeping friends.
Not to reference Vanderpump, but like it's not about the pasta. Like there's things that are being talked about
Yes.
that it's actually like another layer
Yes.
underneath. And there's a lot of projection going on with like Bethany saying stuff like
She's lonely.
that she's talking about herself, which is like, what do they say when you point one finger, you got, or when you point one finger, you got,
One's pointing back at you.
oh no,
or
when you
Yeah.
point one finger, you have three pointing back at yourself.
Oh.
Oh, now
I
you know
just
what?
understood
people
that.
point like that?
Just got
First
that.
time.
Just got
Yeah.
that.
Do people
Because I've
point
heard it said, but I'm seeing it right now.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
get it.
And
We're
so
all
it's
pointing our fingers.
Yeah,
and
in a weird
Uh-huh.
gun way. But yeah, but it's true. And I think it makes me sad for Bethany because she just feels like high school style, like neglected and like seeing the ease
Yeah.
of like Tinsley is everything Bethany is not
yeah.
in a lot of ways. They
Well,
both have
Tinsley
like,
is light.
that's what I'm saying.
Tinsley is light as
Bethany
air.
is just not light. Like
Yeah.
she can't be.
No.
It's not in her. Even just like physically, the way they look, there's just like more of a harshness to Bethany. And I think she's a very pretty woman. I'm not like, but
No.
it's just a different energy. And
Just
I think
all intensity all the
there's
time.
like, and you can't compete with something that's like so different from you.
And when she had Carol so like tightly under her wing, she could be separate from the other women at all times.
Yes.
And now to have Carol be so enmeshed with them, it's kind of like, oh, I guess I got to get in there too.
And she doesn't want to.
she doesn't want to.
No, it's such a weird, and I will say, though it made me laugh. They're fighting, and the one's like, I don't give a shit about
I
Adam.
love it.
That was so great.
Still harboring like a lot of weird feelings. Like it has nothing to do with you. Like how
No.
are you still upset
She's
about this?
still mad about him. Was like because
Your
he
niece
didn't-
could give two shits.
You could give two shits about your niece. I
Right,
will say
true,
that
true,
too.
true,
And then
true.
she's like, he's just a little boy from the Midwest. What's wrong with the Midwest, bitch? You're
so
from
am
fucking
I.
Connecticut.
I think also like it maybe traces back to like weird jealousy of like this younger guy that like took an interest in Carol and it
Yes.
was easy breezy and like that just doesn't happen for a little. I don't know.
No.
Like maybe there's also just a weird thing
Oh,
there.
there was such jealousy there. I believe that to be so true.
Luann has no summers left, unfortunately, and Carol's still down to a couple. I mean, I also, the best part was when then Carol, you could see Luann be like, you know what? I'm going to fight tonight. And she stood up and was like,
Yeah.
I don't care what you think.
like,
And Bethany goes, do you care about the lipstick on your cheek? And she goes, yeah, I do, actually.
And then
Cute.
she's like,
Completely-
I don't give one flying fuck about you.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, do you care about this? And then she's like, I do like you.
You know why? Because all Luann wants is like that warmth. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And like she's like, I guess I have to fight now. And then the second Bethany like softens a moment, she's like, please just hold me. Like that's all she wants.
God
and
bless
it was
her.
obvious. But also Luann's been around a while on the show, and she knows like gotta stay relevant. And so it's like there I think is that thing going on in her brain at all times of like need to be involved.
Oh, little did she know by the end of this episode she would be more relevant.
Be careful what you wish for.
I knew it was. It's so funny because this season has been building to it.
We knew.
So the fact that we were just at Christmas,
We were shooketh.
I was going.
Before the
I was
fall.
going, guys. Is it going to be this episode?
and I
you're
was like, no, there's
yeah.
no. They're gonna milk that. That's gonna be a whole episode.
my
How dare you
God.
not know the show?
We sat just chilled in silence.
Yeah, when she was like, I'm going down to Palm Beach and then to Jupiter. And then we were all like, and where next?
And then
where next, Luann?
The back.
But yeah, I mean, like, just going back to the Carol and Bethany thing, Carol bringing up not even the marathon, but back in the storyline of the half marathon that apparently she ran first. And it's like, she needs too much
Here's what it
marathon
is.
related support.
I wrote
I'm
it down.
done
It's
supporting.
marathon versus Puerto Rico with them, which is like the surface level thing that they are able to talk about. It's like, you didn't donate to my charity for the marathon, and you weren't there for the marathon, and you didn't ask me about the marathon. You didn't donate to, you didn't care about Puerto Rico. It's like, that's what they can like hang on to, even though it's like not the real shit.
And that's where it's harder to like empathize with Carol, because it's like, no one does give a fuck about a marathon.
I feel like
what was her charity for the
Unclear.
marathon?
Unclear.
Did not know there was
Not
one.
sure.
Yeah.
But here's my problem with a lot of it is that I've always held Carol up on a pedestal, you know, like
Of course.
she's this princess and this journalist
Just, like,
and this
well-spoken
writer
and
and
She's
dresses
kind of a
well.
Kennedy.
New York society.
She's kind of a Kennedy.
Yeah,
It's
right?
in parentheses, I think, on her name.
Exactly. And so to see her go tit for tat with like, you didn't care about my charity felt very housewives to
Yeah.
me. And then I was like, no, Carol, don't get in the you didn't care about my charity muck
Right.
with the rest of them. You're beyond that.
Right.
So
We
to
thought.
see her,
So we thought.
Yeah, so we thought. So it was tough for me to see Carol as just a housewife. And all the housewives are great, but turns out she is
There comes a
just
time
a
where
housewife.
they all fall off their pedestal.
Yeah.
I can't think of maybe Eileen to me.
What?
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
No, I'm with
don't know.
you.
What are you
Eileen
saying to
from
me?
Beverly Hills.
You
She
think
never
she's
really fell into. She was a good person. She remained a good person.
I
all the way
think
through.
you
She was
you
a
could just,
nightmare.
You got just dark in the eyes.
Eileen
But
was a travesty.
You're blinded by the way her fashion mistakes.
No, I'm not. I'm also blinded by her house.
That's
true.
fine, but
Her
also
aesthetics
just
are
like I
troublesome.
think just a sweet person in the way of like never like wanted to get into the muck, and that's why she's gone.
She got into her own muck. She wouldn't ever again. We're rehashing.
I'm sorry.
shit.
I was just trying to.
but it's true, because when you bring it up,
like,
I
I'm
got
trying
it.
to think of a pedestal. Yeah, not that she's not a pedestal. You know what I mean? But
No, I hear what you're saying. Like she was a good person, but she would always get down. Like, why don't you
just
brought
wanted
up my
to talk
divorce? You
about
brought
it.
up my divorce. You brought up me and Vinny cheating or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I was like, all right, you know.
And in
She
a
wasn't
way,
for me.
I get that.
I think the point that you're making about Carol is kind of Bethany's point too. She's like, you're like all into the selfies and your hair and your clothes
like,
now.
Like I said when we were talking during the show, there was a moment where, and I think me and Vanessa talked about this, where I was like, do you see this tummy tea? This woman that I respect, that cares about her body, that is healthy, or is promoting tummy tea. And Carol, that's when she lost me in that way.
Yeah.
And so the selfies in the youth comment, like that hits home, because I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
she right.
That is the
boo.
point of no return when
Yeah.
you're doing the tummy tea. By the way, I would do
Yeah.
it in a heartbeat. No one's asking.
Yeah.
But it's
I would love to
ridiculous.
know the sum of money for that kind of, for the tummy tea.
I'm so
specifically.
curious.
The tummy tea and the shakes is like, and the
Yeah.
sunglasses. Those are the three. All
Yeah.
the reality stars are just.
Oh, they're all over it. Again,
them out.
I'm open for biz.
100%.
Everybody open for biz, just in case you're curious. Not that
By the way,
anyone's
and like
knocking.
I try lots of sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses.
Hey, I like a flat tummy.
People
I love a flat
compliment.
tummy.
Yeah.
And I drink tea.
Who doesn't
Not
like
to
a
brag.
flat tummy?
Yeah.
But still,
Who doesn't
Carol,
want a 310 shake?
Carol was a journalist.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You don't sell tummy tea.
She has lost touch with who she really
And
was.
so
in a
that's when
way.
I think we all shook our heads and we're like, or nodded our heads and we're like, yeah, Bethany
Yeah.
is onto something.
I had
She
a,
is. She's not wrong. I mean, Bethany, again, pointing the finger, and if you point one,
three.
you have 7 faces.
Exactly.
It's very
On your-
complicated, and
phrase, yeah.
Yeah. But Bethany is a total self-promoter. So also when Bethany, not to jump ahead, but I will for a second, when Bethany called out Ramona during that weird, sad little Christmas party at her house, called out Ramona for being like, oh, I didn't know this was an infomercial. It's like, no one goddamn
That's-
promotes more than you, Bethany.
Your fucking life is an
like, how
infomercial.
can you ever like stay on Team Bethany for a period of
can't.
time. You can only like pick and choose moments or literally moments where you're like, okay, I feel you. And then now you've lost me again.
This is the woman that had a skinny girl snowboard, lest we forget.
She would plant her shit on, and she was going to do a skinny marijuana at one point.
She's got
Really?
skinny girl jeans. It's a whole.
Yeah, she's been like sprinkling
literally
those
will
jeans
stamp
in
it on
all season.
anything.
And she never shows up to a house without like a box of skinny
And
girls.
she's like, I got this. It's my, like, show up with something else. Show us that you give a shit.
I know.
You have this in a closet. It's everything. So I can't, she's just up there with ones I hate.
No, I hear it all.
She was not wearing her skinny girl jeans when she got naked yet again.
It's like, we've seen it. We get it.
Seen that ass
Boobs
so
and
many
your-
times.
We were talking during the show, like, why is it so like upsetting? When
Annoying.
Bethany gets, it's annoying when she gets, and it's
I don't know why. I
because
could watch Luann. I could watch Sonja get naked 1,000 times.
Yes.
It just feels different.
Yeah, for some reason.
It's like there's an innocence to it. Like
I
a
know.
childlike, without sounding creepy.
Botcherous
it's
woman,
like,
but it is
see
like
a cute kid running around.
Yeah,
in the
like,
pool.
oh, look at your little tush.
Yeah,
You just
just like-
spanking in the bath. Like, that's what I feel
it's like
like.
when you see like a kid running out, like I'm naked. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, Sonia.
Like, you little scamper. Like,
And with Bethany, it's kind of like, do you see my body? Do you see it? Do you see it?
very,
It's like, we do.
It's always
You have to do
intense.
this.
It's just
intense.
always very. And how about when she was like, also picked like a very specific age, but like when she was like, you want to be 45. like
that was
to
a
Carol.
tough thing
It
to
felt just like
say.
harsh and like
Yeah.
it almost was like, oh, now it's just like kicked up to another level.
These girls go below the belt.
You know the moment that they're hurting so bad because it's like fighting. Then it's like, oh shit, because like you've just hit some nerve and now one of them has lashed the fuck out and it's the point of no return.
I
And
thought-
that kind of strangely, even though it wasn't that, it just felt like that was the moment where we're just going to
that
go
was
hard.
a tough moment. A tougher
like it. I don't like
moment for me was when Luann said, do I look like a loser?
Oh God.
Just
Crickets.
transparent insecurity. I'm not.
Oh God.
And you are not, Luann. You're not a loser. But you didn't know it at that moment. And that was the hard part.
It's constant fishing and it makes you feel sad. You want to hug her. You want to tell her it's okay. You know there's just a lot of like constant need for validation and you just want to hold her a little
I
bit.
want to give her the validation she needs.
I know. I wanted to just say, you're not a loser. It's fine. You're going to be fine.
We were introduced to another new testimonial look from Dorinda, which I called Carmela Soprano chic.
Yeah.
Which was like a
A
bold shirt and some
big hair,
Yeah, it
big
seems to be
earrings.
her hair, but just
the
with an-
earrings, her jewelry is always looking, and I know she spent a lot of money on it, but it looks Claire's boutique. I have to be honest. You've picked it up at Target, love Target, but like you've picked up a pair of earrings, you've picked a very heavy necklace. And like, again, I said this earlier, it's like she went blindfolded into her closet and used sense of touch. And like, you're not going to always get it wrong.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes she picks pieces and you're like, I like that blazer.
Yeah.
And they're just like individual pieces that you can separate. And you're like, I like those pants. But then it's like the whole look that she's thrown together.
It looks like she had a drawer of jewelry and she just like dove in and popped out
Yeah.
and whatever
Like
was on her was
DuckTale
on
style,
her.
like the money
She's
pit,
like,
but it's just all jewelry.
She does the exact opposite of that Coco Chanel.
Yeah, take one thing off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, put it all on. One more thing. She also looked to have like, it was like her hair with like one added piece just kind of up on the side of curls.
Like Sonia and Dorinda, there's a team of people around you. Is no one like, I don't
For the
think this looks
testimonials especially.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm saying like, why isn't there one person that's like, I don't think this looks okay. This is actually too heavy. This is actually too much. Let's pull it back. Like no one's saying that. What's the atmosphere there that no one's telling these ladies it's too much?
I don't know.
Even a producer, like, come on, dude.
But
they
then
don't
on the other
care.
hand, they're
They
like,
don't care.
people are going to love this.
Yeah.
It's insane.
We're talking
By the way,
about
here we
giving
are.
Something to talk about. Dorinda singing "Happy Birthday" to herself
Oh God.
in like the middle of like the fight. It was
I was confused for a moment. I was like, who? Because it was so like weirdly earnest. It wasn't like, this is a joke. It was like, she's just really singing to herself as she walks out. So I was like, who is she? Oh, okay. I forgot the
Yeah,
whole,
and
it's
then
around
she
Christmas.
tried to do the pie face bit with the candles burning once.
Could have ended
That really
so
could've ended
badly.
We
blew the
all
candles
There
out
would
and
have
then
been
did it
burnt
again.
crisped eyebrows. I was in a
Seemed like she
small
got
pucker
singed.
once.
Ooh.
what?
I was at a temple. I was in a
menorah fire?
from an oven, a backdraft,
no.
and it singed off of my eyebrows and like the front of my
and
hair.
that's that Ron Howard movie.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wait, backdraft. Yeah.
That's what it's based
If you
on.
look
is
at like
Lauren's
the outtakes,
experience
and
at the
if you look at
temple.
the bloopers, which is weird that they have a blooper
Yeah,
reel, but
yeah,
it's mostly me. No, but like singed eyebrows and such, and that can happen. And Dorinda, take it from someone who's been through it.
Wow. Warning from the white. No, thank you. Sometimes we do good on this this podcast, and we do like a
sharing.
PSA.
Sure.
Make sure that. I don't know if it's oxygen that was I forget what happened, but the oven was open. There's no oxygen. Whatever.
Yeah.
There was just a fireball that came out
When
of the
around
oven.
a fire, there's science around it. So just
By the way,
beware.
Yeah.
Google the
Don't
science
do whatever that thing
when
is.
you're cooking.
Exactly. Now, some other things that happened in
We went to the blood drive,
that
Oh
blood drive.
my god!
where none of them can give blood because they've been in Mexico in the past year. I
So
guess.
Sonja's gift was just sitting on people's laps
That
that
was
did not
so
want
insane.
That was
did not want it. There was the first woman, there was just like an awkward, she's like, I guess I'll put my hand around your waist. I'm also like giving blood right now. Like
Yeah.
I need to focus. This doesn't feel good. I'm squeezing a ball. I don't want you on my lap. I don't want cameras on me. I don't know. Maybe
Unlike
maybe
you
she
and your
does.
husband at the premiere, you were like, I don't want to have a lap moment of cuddling
Yes.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just her sitting on that woman's sad lap as she's just trying to give some goddamn blood and holiday cheer
That
to
woman
those
did not
that
strike
need
me
it.
as a Housewives fan.
It's for blood and cash for those who need it.
That was strange. God bless it all, but it was like
Blood and
what's-
cash cards.
where is this going? What is happening?
Unclear.
Who's getting this? Also, we got the Nutcracker.
Oh yeah.
Like she said, like it was like at first there was a thing, and then she was like, "You're the what did she say? Like you're the best Santa
she's
Claus."
like,
You saved
she said you saved,
you saved Christmas.
Christmas.
Like literally, what else do you want?
I know.
I can't. Ramona like
Yeah.
on the phone call was like pretty like had her points like ready to go, but that part like you lost me a little bit because by the end like she thanked
It's
her.
hard because Bethany thinks by doing that, by having such a big reaction, that equals gratitude. But as Carol pointed out, when she was clearly just like, I'm going to be sowing discord to
Yeah.
and fro, it's like she turned it into a performance instead of just saying thank you.
Yeah,
She
it's
never
true.
did actually say thank you.
She didn't like take her aside, and it was a whole
But
weird.
I also do feel, I truly felt, and again, I don't know why I'm so Team Bethany right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
strange, but I'm going where my heart goes.
Do you?
Let it lead right now. But it was, I thought Bethany was excited in the moment. This is something she really wanted. And so sometimes in that moment, she was so grateful and excited, but she might not have had the words to be like, Dorinda, you did this. Like she did say those things, but I don't think she said exactly what
I
Dorinda
can
wanted
get
to hear.
behind it. I get it when you're like super excited. Obviously, it wasn't intentional, but again, like it's another point of like Bethany just being like soup self-centered.
It is.
But she did say you saved Christmas. That's all we saw. Who knows? Maybe there was another like, but it's true. It seemed like a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not a box of
She did give
chocolates.
more hugs to the random man that brought.
Yeah, she did a lot more bits about
probably
him being
did she
gay.
give them to the Nutcracker itself?
Yeah.
I believe in Nutcracker.
More to the inanimate object.
If I had shown up here with a like Nutcracker that took forever to get, that I knew that your daughter really wanted,
It was true.
and you were
You're right.
screaming and doing
You're right.
and making a big
You'd still be
fuss
like,
about
oh my
it.
God, it was
I
you.
would-
But you
I
didn't
would.
actually like take me and look in my eyes and say thank
would,
you so
though.
much.
I would.
And
That's
of
what
course
I'm
you
saying.
would.
And that's
Of
what I'm
course.
saying. So
But
that's
but
who
if you
she-
didn't, it would have hurt, And
that's who she
You know
is.
what?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Back on Team Carol, guys. Back on Team Carol.
I know.
It took
Wow.
me a minute and a half.
wow.
We blow with the breeze.
It's
Podcast.
like we're Team Carol, but Bethany's insights are true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. God,
Now we
it's
were
complicated.
treated to the phone call at the end with Ramona, who I've never seen blinking so much in my entire show.
Wild.
Just wildly
Yeah.
blinking. You're
She
a
was
killer
like-
person, and you don't support women, and you don't support women.
She was having a full seizure during that phone call because it was just like
you could tell that she
everything
was unaware of just the world around her.
Yeah.
Like it was midday, workday, most likely, just unaware of anything except this phone call.
You pointed out the most terrifying thing about the whole scene, which is that her dog was in the street.
Your
as she was
dog
having-
is like of all streets, New York City streets. No like cabs, cars, bikes. Like a producer would most likely have to save that dog's life.
Yeah.
Those editors made sure to give you a couple shots of the dog, like drifting
we know
into
it's
traffic.
going to end up fine.
I couldn't focus on the rest of the scene.
I know.
I
know.
It was
Shih Tzu
scary.
was in traffic, and it was giving me an anxiety I haven't felt in a long time.
Should we talk about, well, two things about Sonja, obviously. The first is her strange need to share her sexual past with the contractors.
So gross.
Like, they're so clearly uncomfortable. They don't want to be on camera in the first place. Now you're talking about having sex on a sink. They don't know how to react. It's no one's happy.
It kind of goes back to that thing you're saying about, it's like there's a level of self-awareness, but they're not all the way to self-aware.
No.
So her thing is like, I say body crazy, sexy things. That's what I do. People love it. I'm going to say it. And it's like, yeah, but you're not quite. They're in this weird hall of mirrors of self-awareness.
And that's
Completely.
harassment. Because when someone works for you and has to deal with that shit while they're getting paid by you and they're forced to stand there and listen to you talk about something that they don't want to be a part of, like, that's not okay.
And she'll do it and she'll do it again and no one's going to stop her. And
Is there going to be like a takedown of like Sonja and Ramona from a bunch of innocent contractors who have been sexually harassed by them coming forward to be like...
And there's going to be a lot of them.
I feel like once a show, when we do our live show and we do Boots on the Ground, once a show, someone comes up and tells us, men and women, young and old, that Sonja has basically made out with them. Like, I think it has, I mean, very town to town. We have been across
She's left a trail.
swath of this
She's
great
left a trail.
nation. You know, from coast to coast.
And the flyover state.
Yeah.
I believe her to
You're like, how are you
genuinely
even
be
there?
Yeah, I mean, she is sexually fluid for sure. And
sure.
even in this episode, we
She's
saw
Jell-O.
as soon as Dorinda has the cake on her face, they're all
She
weirdly
talked
very.
about Luann humping her. She was like, my
They were
favorite.
all gyrating on each other at
But
that
I
Christmas
love when
party.
Luann's on top. Like, there was just,
Luann was on top and-
wants to like constantly be climaxing. It's like just my
just so horny
all the time.
Is. I've
I mean,
never.
Congratulations, like great.
Great.
But
Great.
sometimes there's stuff for like baby behind closed doors.
Yeah, and again, like be loud, be proud of your sexuality.
But also like close the door.
But also like shut the fuck up.
Yes.
I don't want to
That's
know.
the best advice. Be proud, be loud, but also shut
the fuck up.
I also really appreciated, by the way, Sonja and Ramona's long, like, who's on first bit about being constipated versus
I want a
fiber
solid
versus-
shit. No, I just want a smart shit.
What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, it was like because how much iron you have and whether or not. I mean, I couldn't
You know,
even
there's an
track it.
editor like we have like 1.5 minutes. Like we can put in like we're gonna put in the
We're
shit
gonna
talk.
put in the shit talk.
Yeah.
There's one who's like, yes, that was my baby.
That was-
Thank you.
I edited so
I got that
well.
footage. I got that footage.
There were 2 cameras.
I was on a B camera and I knew this was
He
gonna
just
be
got
rich.
a promotion. That was his big moment.
And it was worth it.
And then we were treated at the end of the episode to a foreshadowing, which I have never seen on Breaking Bad. and on Game of Thrones.
No.
I mean, sure, winter is coming, but winter is fucking coming.
It
Winter
floored
came.
us. It
Winter
floored us.
came.
It floored us. It stopped us in our tracks. We fell silent. We became part of it. We were just, where did they get the footage?
It's so chilling.
What is the
and
chain of events that you got that footage on fucking TV?
It almost felt, it was the exact opposite. You know, remember in the comeback at the end when they stopped using the reality footage and they used the beautiful like cinematic?
Yes.
It was like the exact opposite where it was like, we're dropped into the starkest cold reality.
But also like, hashtag Florida, like how did she slip out of her cuffs, you fucking
That was insane.
Well, because that is Luann.
She
That
did
is
it.
that is Connecticut
And
nurse.
I feel like she didn't really punch a cop. She was just an idiot, belligerent. Like, hey, why are you doing this? Like,
Why are you doing that?
it wasn't like intentional. It was just that messy, drunk, like no consequence moment of like,
Yeah.
this is a police officer. I'm in the back of a fucking cop
I
car.
would love seeing him throw his forearm into her chest
And
and
no.
shove her
Hog
back
No,
into.
I did not like that.
hi.
I did not like that. I felt sorry for her.
Me
doing
too, at every moment. Like I thought I was gonna be pissed and be like, I just felt sorry for
But
her.
I also think
Yeah.
I have been drunk before. Okay? I'm just gonna admit it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Bragging.
admit it here. There has never been a point where a cop shows up and I'm like, I'm
Never.
in charge here, not you.
I've never
And
been that
guys,
drunk.
Cops have showed up. And I have never been drunk and been like, guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't know what I can do. Like,
That's a level of drunk I've never felt, and I've been wasted.
Me too.
But like the whole like blackout phase, I never felt. I never went through that, and I've never like had a level of like being removed from reality where I'm going to yell at a cop.
I've had several, not yelling at the cops, luckily just because they didn't show up. But have you ever been that drunk while being at the same location where you had your engagement from a wedding,
that's like
a marriage that just
opened some wounds.
but she did that to herself.
She did.
She wanted to. That is secret cutting.
That's
you know
like-
what that is. That is
Testing
self
yourself
mutilation
in a weird way. You know the cut's open. You've barely put Neosporin on it. You need to let that shit heal and not fly down to the
the
scene of the
way
crime.
they have her saying so upbeat. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to West Palm. I'm flying into West Palm
framed.
Beach,
Oh,
and then
God.
I'm just gonna spend the holidays with my brother in
South-
Jupiter.
and then I'm
talking
going to
to her-
Chile for a wedding.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to Chile and Argentina, or would she say Argentina for a wedding, and then just have a great time. And it's like clunk clunk, and then it's just like, what are you doing to me? What is happening? Like,
But like, here's what I'll say, and we know because we've come out the other side. Like, she will redeem herself.
Yes.
She will come back. Here's what I like about her. She's not going to be like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. She will confront it head on and say, I fucked up and blah, 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 blah. To a point.
to a point.
To a point.
She
But-
seems to have forgotten it at this point. And
I hung out with her, and she
seemed
good.
great.
She good. She good.
she's good. She's real good.
There were a couple things that Sonja's level of makeup at all times. I made a comment while we were watching that it's a lot of girls I was friends with in college. Like, I think she does a lot of facial procedures, a lot of things where she's spending a lot of money. But at the end of the night, that woman is falling asleep in her makeup every night. She's got the eyelashes stuck together by the morning. It looks like almost like a Venus flytrap she can't open.
Yes.
It's sticky. There's a satin pillow covered in bronzer.
Oh, you're so right. Like,
Right?
That is
several,
the most accurate thing that has ever been said. Because I am a person that always, like, no matter how
Me
wasted,
too.
no matter
Me
what is going on,
too.
I will take that makeup off.
My best friend never did it. It was always a thing. I would always say to her, I was like, I could be toe the fuck up. I'm going to wash my goddamn face.
and
Because
you-
it feels good.
and Sonja never. She has no nighttime.
There's no nighttime
regimen.
routine.
There is no.
There's no self-care at night. It's passing out in a full face of makeup. But also, that's what I think when she showed up at the Christmas party, there was even maybe like a reference of like, I think she just washed her face and put on some moisturizer. Like,
She did
God, you
look
look so
fabulous.
fresh.
She did look
you're
fabulous.
like, yeah, I washed my face. I put, it's just the basics
Yeah, she
that
showered.
came back.
She showered, but she even said she didn't. She's like, no, I just I spritzed water under my underarm.
I used a washcloth. I had to use a washcloth because
Yeah, it also seems like she's the kind of person that, and by the way, me too, so fine, but like gets her hair done and then like she's going like maybe a week and a half, like trying to save that due.
She's saving that blowout. She
Yes.
is
Yeah.
She's a
saving-
blowout saver.
As am
And by
I.
the way,
Let
which
me-
is fine.
Yeah.
I share that with you.
I will-
I'm using the dry shampoo. Like, let me have every kind of brand. It's
Yes.
fine. But you can tell it has
Yes.
that not so fresh. A lot of times it's that not, even in her talking heads, it's like, are we talking like fourth day blowout with this look?
her one talking head where her hair is like sort of just weirdly stretched across her forehead. and
Yes,
her,
that's
her
the-
eye
that's the
makeup
bad
is
look.
so insane.
The red
People have
look,
been
the
doing
red
side
look.
by sides of her with this one episode of Friends where I think Rachel like did bad on purpose bad makeup, guys,
Of
because
course,
she's
of course. I
yeah,
know she's
and,
perfection.
and they do look a lot alike.
It's jarring. Every time my husband and I see that one talking head, we're like, what is like, no.
They did her dirty.
Guys, it was a riveting episode, and I can't wait for next week.
It was so good.
Let's take a little break, and we'll come back and talk Potomac. And we're back. Now, Lauren, you wanted to say one more thing about New York real quick?
Just going through my notes, when just as a casual throwaway line, one of the saddest things ever said, which is Jordan saying, I've never had a happy birthday, which we kind of caught, like it was already past and we were like, did she just, and she meant it. And you're like, oh, what, why, and how?
With a smile, she said.
Yeah, but it was like that, just that, with a smile. That's sad, serious.
That's
So
that's why we
insane.
needed the Ibiza shout out, because she's never had a happy birthday.
yeah.
You just
It
gave her
felt
one.
good. She deserved it.
Guys, on to Potomac. Now, this was, I thought, a wonderful episode. I just jumped onto the Potomac.
and
I know
love
you're
it.
new,
Same.
Potomac, but we just jumped on this year. We watched the first season, weren't that impressed. Then we were told to get on, and I am in. And we opened up this week with a bang, with the rest of the umbrella fight between all the women. As I call it, the umbrella fight. But my favorite moment was just the tiny woman that was not part of the cast just being like, can you guys move? Can you break it up? Can you break it up? Like this poor woman that had to go outside and someone was like, it's your turn, Denise. It's like, I don't want to go outside. I'm scared. Denise was like, I'm sorry. Like, poor Denise. Again, if that's her name.
Poor Denise.
Yeah.
But I just felt like,
I feel like they heard her and they're like, yeah, we should just move on.
we
They like moved down the street
exactly.
a little bit.
yeah, but that really.
This was my first Potomac, and I was telling you, like, I didn't need to see anything else. I just jumped right in.
Me too.
Same. You just
I
immediately.
told my husband, I think we're just now watching Potomac. And it was it was like, I knew it was going to happen. It's just like, oh, when are you just going to start? And it was very easy to fall right in.
Yeah.
I immediately fell in love with Karen.
Oh, of course. She's
who
the
I
dream.
had to write down equals Sonja, because she's their
I
Sonja.
literally was going to be like, she's the Sonja
Yes,
this season.
yeah.
We are just simpatico. Because I was just like,
because she's the
lack of
vague-
self-awareness.
and the vague businesses and the finances you can't track.
When she mentioned like the discovery phase, phase of her
Yes,
scenting,
of her pume-
I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, there's like a thing happening. That was the one before, but I was like, all right.
Yeah.
There's some knowledge here of sense.
No. I'm going to say no, she doesn't.
Did you talk about Karen? Have you that?
I mean, we do talk about Karen, definitely, on the
Has she
podcast.
been on a lot of episodes?
Karen, yeah. She's
Oh
been
no,
here
not
from the beginning.
Karen.
Sorry.
Who's? I'm sorry, not Karen. Who's the blonde scent woman?
Oh, that woman. No,
scent-
she's
no, that's
like
Karen.
no,
That's the
no,
scent
she's
event.
no, that's just she's just a scent woman. Yeah, no, she's
Her
just,
watching the fight was like,
that was amazing. Where she was like, "Break is stop
to that
him."
man.
Yeah,
who just
Karen's
was so
assistant.
scared.
He was just like, "I'm sitting back now."
do something and break it up.
He was like, "I don't want to get in the middle of this."
Sorry.
No, it's great. No, nothing to apologize about.
Giselle, is it
Giselle.
Giselle is so beautiful. Looks so much like Vanessa
she
Williams.
was crying.
Well, she
I
first
was
was like, I don't want people
heartbroken.
to see this.
I know. I felt for
But
her.
like, and I get it. You don't have to always be strong. And then she's in the bowl, she's in the head bowl and she can't escape the tears at that point.
No, but watching her cry was the most beautiful thing.
But you're like, she seems very tough.
yeah.
And so it's like, I think as an audience, we want to see that you have feelings like that.
She's a God-fearing woman. Her
She is.
hairdresser in the Balenciaga hat reminded her.
That scene was, I would put that in like Steel Magnolias. I would put that like in the
In the hair salon.
yeah, like it was a beautiful scene between a hairdresser and their client and a person. Yes. And I thought one for the ages. Like I thought it was beautiful. A woman trying not to cry, but crying. I was touched by that scene.
Again, I'm coming in late. Have we seen a lot of Sherman?
I didn't watch last season, so I don't know about last season. But this season, Sherman's scene, he has not been around, just in sort of like a flashback.
Because I just feel like, what kind of relationship is this? Like, in no world does a boyfriend or a girlfriend disappear for 29 hours in your life. And it's like, oh, we're having some communication problems. It's like, yeah, honey, it is.
You're no longer in a relationship, it seems.
So it made me sad.
I think all the men on Potomac so far, I haven't. No, there is Monique's husband. I like Monique's husband.
Robin's ex, but they're together?
Yes, I like them too. Well, it seems like
So
they're
what
taking like a
happened?
slow. They got divorced, but it seems
He
like there's
seems
like
kinda great.
Yes, and that scene with the site. Another. I was.
Do we believe in
bawling.
mediums now? Like,
I totally do.
Because I'm like, you can only Google so much.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, unless
Tell
they
me.
updated, what is her ex-husband's name? Whatever.
Juan.
Yeah, unless they updated Juan's Wikipedia after one Google. Again, I don't know who any of these people are. One Google in his Wikipedia page, it's like his parents, and here are their names. Both were both heroin addicts. It's like it was very
Well, that's
late
the
out
thing
there.
with me.
I didn't even check. I just believed it.
No, I mean it was.
I'm sure that it's probably fake, but they're doing something good that people need. So like, okay, fine.
I believed it.
I believed it. I believed it in the moment, but I did Google. But like, But what about like the nickname? I guess you could just be like,
Right. Nita from
Nita.
Juanita is,
Here's what I did
every-
like about this medium, and I think if you're a really good medium, you need to be doing this, is like, don't give them everything they want, where it's like, no, he's not sorry. Like, I think that makes it feel more real.
Yes,
if you're
yes.
like, you're like, oh, and that is him because he wouldn't say it. Like, people want to believe shit and they create that, but like that I think is a sign of a good medium.
I do feel like
giving them everything they want.
I felt like Robin and Juan got healing.
That's what they needed, and that's
I
what
felt,
mediums do.
and it healed their relationship. Did
Totally.
we see them in that moment? They seemed like this family.
He was so happy. He was
they
like,
were so
dude,
connected.
thank you for this medium. Like it was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I was all for it.
Me too.
That's why I
really
liked
need
them
that.
together. Like, this is new for
I
me.
want them together again. I don't know what happened last season, but I know that I felt for them. And in that moment, why did Earl take their money? We'll never know when he's not sorry.
I want to know more about Earl, but Google wasn't giving me much.
If
Now-
you listen to Robin, if you don't watch her and you just listen to her voice, she sounds exactly like Chelsea Peretti.
Really?
Yeah, just an observation.
Okay.
Because I was like, what is this? This is not
something
a
there.
Southern accent, but this is like this.
I gotta
sounds
listen.
Familiar. Yeah.
Okay.
She just
Re-listen,
sounded
rather.
like
All right. Good to know.
it's a huge compliment.
All right. Now, here's a question, or not even a question, but an observation. There was a charity. This was for the hurricane in Houston, and Giselle dropping off just one 24-pack of water.
Was that it?
Believe
That's it.
Was that it?
That looked
By the way,
all just
do you
like
guys know that those cost like $2.99?
Exactly, and I was
I'm always
like-
shocked at what a 24-pack of water costs. It's ridiculous. You're like, why am I? And it's also just like the most pollution. Like those never get recycled.
Yes.
Here's just a box of garbage that's really cheap.
I was
Use a fucking Brita.
shocked. I was like, you don't have some like old clothes around the house you
Something.
can donate.
I
I was
know.
like, you don't have just some snacks. Like,
That was such a Bethany move to be like, I'm dropping it off and I'm out. Like I don't have time
It
to
was
be
a Bethany
in the
move.
scene. But also Bethany would have come with more than Bethany would have brought some
20
fucking cash cards.
Cash
Yes.
cards.
again, a 24-pack. Oh, if you can lift it, it's not enough.
Thank you.
That's what I would
That is
say.
a quote. If you can lift it, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
And I was looking to see, are there assistants carrying more stuff
Did
for
we
her?
miss
It seemed,
something?
I
Yeah,
don't
I-
think we
they
did.
edited it.
Anything's possible, but I saw what I saw.
I think we was literally one.
It was
What?
sad.
I
That truck
rewound
needed
it.
a fill-in,
I
and your
re-
tiny little box was not going to do that.
Yeah, I rewound that moment like 3 times.
And sort of in like a weird, like cocky. It's like, are you the vibe of her carrying it also is
Yeah.
this sort of cocky condescending.
Right.
Like, here's my.
It was as if she thought she was delivering 100 cash cards. It's
Is
like,
there
Yeah.
gold in each of those bottles?
Yeah.
Question.
Yes, please.
Because again, this
No.
is new for me. Again, I don't want to jump around, but Ashley.
Yeah, and her husband. He's a monster.
husband.
He's
What is
he's a
that?
restaurateur,
Odd
and
pairing,
he's
right?
I'm very confused. Where did they
He's the
meet? Who
worst.
is he? How old is he?
again. I'm not exactly sure everything. They've been together for a long time. They were together the first season when I first started watching. He's a restaurateur, and they got briefly separated, but now they're back together. But he's a monster person.
He's like a poor man's Gordon Ramsay of like
what he is. I dislike him greatly.
immediately.
And also Chris, Candace's husband.
Oof, they're picking some
This is
winners.
they're engaged, right?
Yes.
This is
Yes.
I'm equally confused by.
I just
they have
feel
both
like-
chosen. If I'm talking about the same women, they have both chosen these like white men who are not very attractive and seem
No.
like not in their league at all.
not only
No.
not in their league, just like really bad personalities.
But what about
Not only-
Chris? Has a 15-year-old son that he does not talk to.
And you know that's his drama.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can tell. It's like, oh, I try to go there. It's like, bitch.
Get
Anytime
there.
No,
a
you don't.
parent is in a conflict with a child and they're just like, I'm the victim,
you
it's like,
haven't-
no.
But here's the
That
thing.
is actually a hugely good point.
Yeah.
You cannot play the victim when it's
No.
a freaking
It's
child.
insane when
No.
he's 15.
You're so
and also,
right.
all of a sudden, he's going to come to the wedding. You haven't seen him in 15 years. Why all of a sudden is he
Yeah.
coming to your wedding?
Oh, so wait, I missed that. He's coming to the wedding for
that's
sure.
what I think. That's what
It was
I thought it was just
implied.
about like, we got to tell my mom.
I thought it was implied. That's why they had to tell her.
Yeah.
Because
But
of
also,
this.
like, I don't know. And again, I haven't seen prior episodes. The washover of like, and we see his other kids once a month.
that to me too was upsetting.
Okay, what?
Why don't you live in the same place as your fucking
Yeah.
kids?
Her
He's
mom
this
is
fucking sleazebag. Like immediately, like with your weird beard and shaved head. Like I don't like you. I don't like your
no.
sleazy vibe. I don't know. And even like when she was talking about the housewives drama when I first was introduced to him in the episode. It was like, at least fucking pretend like you're listening. Like, I know it's
Yeah.
bullshit, but you're on a show. Like, he couldn't have looked more disinterested and just like over it. And it's like, you're marrying this
she's
woman.
stunning. And it's like, what are you bringing to the table, buddy?
What does he do?
Oh, he has a restaurant. That's his restaurant.
Yes. That
Wait,
they were,
how many of them are restaurateurs?
no, it's very confusing.
Two restaurateurs.
I guess a girl's got to eat.
Girl's gotta eat. But yeah, so that was, again, the men are not, the only one that's got, I think, a good husband, Robbins, and then Monique. I like her husband.
He's
so
the
far.
one with the super deep voice.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Sultry.
I love his voice.
I don't know a lot about him, but I liked him.
Yeah.
Monique is...
Yeah, this episode was fine. Like, it was a fine episode. I like the season. I like the players. I like the game.
I don't know much about
in.
Charisse.
Charisse is great.
What's her deal?
Oh, yeah,
she wasn't really featured. She was just there for Monique.
This wasn't like a real Charisse episode. She was married to this coach, and they have since gotten divorced. But she's a cool chick. Again, we just got in this season, so like.
But I'm in. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're right. We said like, look, we're going to talk Potomac, and
I was like, I will oblige.
As will I. Also appreciate that they're simply holding in the credits champagne glasses.
Yeah.
They're like, guys, we don't need to fucking come up with another clever object.
well, what is Potomac? Like, what are they
That is
supposed to
true.
carry
Exactly.
with Potomac?
They're like standing by. Is there like rivers there or something?
Right.
I guess
Just
it's
standing by
near
some
DC.
water.
It's DC adjacent.
DC adjacent.
Still, even Googling it, even looking at a map, I was like, no, what is this? Where?
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was a fine episode. Real quick, Southern charm. Let's just a few beats to say a few
Bapa-doo.
things. Bapa-doo, Bapa-dee-doo. Do you just have some like quick hot takes?
Well, the
Super
episode
quick.
opened with Thomas saying to his 2-year-old daughter, "Hey, go get some panties on. Put your panties on."
Oh,
I
that
was
made me
"You
sick.
the
Disgusting.
fucking
Disgusting.
Then
Don't say that
I
word.
Google him. I see that he is an accused rapist. I'm like, this all tracks.
Oh yeah, he's a
Fuck
monster.
This guy.
He's a fucking monster, as is his girlfriend, who is a monster. His ex-girlfriend is obviously, I'm on her side now. Like, I am all Team Catherine right now. But his new girlfriend, what's her fucking name? Ashley?
Catherine.
Catherine, sorry. I don't know why I call her
No,
Ashley.
I'm sorry. No, Catherine is the other one. What is her name? Fuck. Ashley. You're right.
Ashley,
It's
right.
Ashley.
Okay, all right. Ashley's a monster. I cannot stand her. She is the worst. She idolizes Melania Trump, which
Tells
is
me everything I need to
tells
know
me
about
everything
you
I need to
immediately.
know.
Just beginning and end.
Yeah.
And the way that she attacked Catherine for not inviting her to her children's birthday party. How fucking dare you?
It could not have been, her entire experience couldn't have been sadder. It was like that. When those two die and burn in hell, which they will,
Which they
Thomas
will,
and
and I-
Ashley,
and I
they're
will
gonna
light
be
a
locked
match.
in this purgatory where he's just looking for the bourbon and he can't find the bourbon, and she's like, "What do I wear to ride horses? What do I wear to ride horses?"
the dark.
And they can't hear each other.
Yes.
It's like they're in this like weird like dystopian like Waiting for Godot. You know what I mean?
That is beautiful
that's
and
their
dark.
fate.
That's a gorgeous. Any more hot takes?
Did you notice that everyone's phone is broken? Their phones are all broken because they're drunk messes.
Yes.
Like smashed.
Smashed
As with
phones
their
everywhere.
faces.
It's a very
Everybody's
specific
bodies are falling
person.
apart. in
Chef's
Southern
body
Charm.
is broken. What's her name? Hurt her leg.
She's got a broken
Like,
foot.
they're all fucked because they are drunken
Yes.
messes stumbling through
This
life.
one's having a knee surgery. That one's having a hip.
They're
Yeah.
all drunks, just smashing into doors and windows. Like, no door and window in Charlton is safe from these fucking
No.
drunk maniacs.
The
Oh, by the
smashed
way.
phone is like a very specific person.
Yes. Yeah.
Like when I see a person and their entire front of their phone is smashed, it tells me a lot.
It's like not doing.
Also, they did this playback to Catherine, like right when she was introducing Thomas to her grandmother, because they were talking about how she died. And all I could think of that moment, you just had like 19-year-old Catherine, and I was like, if she had never met Thomas, how much better her life would have been. I thought that at that moment. She was so young, and I'm glad she has these beautiful babies, and I think she has learned a lot and grown up a lot. I wish she didn't have to grow up this way. I wish it didn't. Again, it all worked out, but I felt for that 19-year-old girl who made the biggest mistake. And
That's the mother in you.
Yeah.
That's your maternal
Yeah.
instinct.
I think she and her kids are going to be fine. I think he needs to be removed
Executed.
immediately. Executed.
No, I don't
on the
really. I
premises
don't mean
of
execute,
this
but he
planet.
does need to be just removed and go back to jail, perhaps.
Yes.
Just sort of a disappear where you
Yeah.
just fade into nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I would like to call for one more thing, which is that Lauryn Kahn, again, the writer of Ibiza, it's on Netflix.
See it.
She does an amazing Dorit
I'm not
impression.
amazing. It's like I said, work in progress.
It's a work in progress, but aren't we all?
Guys, please don't judge me. This is how I warm up. I warm up by saying their names. Kyle, PK, Lisa, Teddy, Who else is there? Who else is there?
I don't know. That was brilliant.
Here's the reason why I can talk like her is because she emphasizes the beginning of the syllables. And she talks slow enough that she can think about the accent. Because I have Beverly Beach, and it is a fashion line. I am an entrepreneur. And Kyle, you are my friend.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Truly bone chilling.
I'll get better.
I think it's better. I'm going to be terrified.
The warm up, it's good to say their names.
Yes,
It's really about that first syllable and
That was
hammering it in.
gorgeous. Thank you for that
I'm
performance.
so glad you guys were here for it.
Wow.
Guys, thank you. Matt McConkey. I'd like to just
Danielle.
plug Homophilia,
Yes,
which is a
guys.
hilarious podcast you do with Dave Holmes.
Thank you. And we're going to be in Provincetown at the Provincetown Film Festival interviewing Christine Vachon on June 16th. If you're on the East Coast, please come.
Lauren, anything else besides Ibiza?
Not
wanna talk
really.
Well, thank you for being here.
This was so much fun.
Joy and
What
a
a
pleasure.
delight.
I want to do it again.
By the way, make a sequel of your movie,
Please.
please.
Okay.
It's kind of teased at the end almost.
Yeah, we did that on purpose.
Yay.
Casey and I will be in Chicago this weekend, so come see us. There are a few more,
R.I.P. Case. I do love
few more
you.
tickets for the 10 o'clock show. Come on by. We'll talk. I'd like to thank our gorgeous team here today.
Team.
What a Mary, our engineer. I would like to thank Luz and Earwolf and July and the whole gang. What a pleasure.
Thank you, Matt Besser, for setting up these mics. You did a great
Yes.
job.
What a dream. Guys, have a good day.
Bye.